losing the dog that you've had for 16 and a half years.
Yeah, I understand. So when you're looking at the behavior of them pulling and barking and all this,
Yeah.
you don't want to be trying to pull on the leash.
Okay.
And being like pulling back. You're basically just, it's like you're playing a tug of war game.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and so what you have to be thinking is
Is it just to lock him on the pinch collar and he would
yeah, but
fold?
but this is where I'm telling you, like,
Yeah, we're retraining everything.
you're used to physically controlling the dog.
Yeah.
And this is why it doesn't really work, because you're not actually affecting and reaching them mentally and emotionally, how they're looking at the world. So when I have them on leash, or they're barking and doing, hey, so 1 second. Oh, perfect.
Oh, am I interrupting you?
Oh no, it's actually perfect. We'll just bring him right back. But yeah.
Sorry we're late.
Oh no,
Baby timing.
No, I
Trying to
know.
get everything.
I was telling Bill that I was like, he's like, oh yeah, where's Bash? And usually he's here, and I was like, oh yeah, no, their schedule's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
And,
We left the house
I said I'll either see him later or some other day.
Never. Yeah.
But no, I get it. But yeah, no. I'll take him back, and then we'll end up just playing everything by ear.
Yeah.
It's okay if you're late. I'll just let you know if I haven't seen you. Like, hey, I have to step away.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
but don't worry about showing up later.
We'll get better at it.
Yeah,
But we left the house like an hour and a half ago. But it's like, you gotta stop. You gotta feed. You gotta feed for half an hour. You gotta change the diaper.
Yeah.
Took us a 20-minute drive. Took us an hour and a half.
Yeah. All right.
Cool, man. Have a good one. Enjoy the sun, by the way.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm going to. Just let it be. Let it be.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to be thinking in terms of domination and discipline, not sit like or trying to hold them, like pulling them back on leash.
Yeah.
So when a dog is pulling us on leash, what we want to be thinking about is, well, I need to make him feel as though going to, like, moving forward is what I don't like. So I set a territorial boundary.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for us to just get into this, like, well, especially with small dogs, let me try to pull them on, let me just pick them up, let me physically control them. And then we also have to see that, you know, when he is barking at him and everything, we want to see what actually is taking place. Is that they're communicating, right? They're communicating, and so he's like, whoa, 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 I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Right. And then, but he didn't go forward. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so what happens is he starts to go back into this I'm having to let go and process what's happening. I'm
Yeah.
moving him. We're moving him through his fear.
Mhm.
So we're giving him this experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
Looks
that
like he's adapted a lot
yeah,
better than I was expecting
Yeah.
so quickly.
yeah, because what starts to happen is that we're changing the way that we're showing up,
Mhm.
which ultimately is going to start to change how he shows up.
Yeah.
Because the way when we first met and the constant interfering and all this, it feeds it and keeps it riled up. And,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then we're not
He's
you weren't
listening to you.
yeah, you weren't understanding how
Yeah.
how the way you guys were living was contributing to this problem. So
Yeah.
then we're thinking we just got to correct this thing, and it's like no, it's deeper than that.
Mhm.
And so he
Yeah, we're a team.
this is the first time meeting Bash, but
Mm-hmm.
but the domination and discipline is what's important. And so say this is a dog that this is a new dog to you,
Mhm.
and then he comes up and then you start rubbing him up.
Mhm.
When he if you didn't actually call him to you and tell him
Mhm.
to do this, he can then start to see you as someone that is submissive subordinate.
Mhm.
So then say now you want to try to, he's doing something and you go, hey, don't be doing this.
Mhm.
But you create a relationship where you're subordinate submissive to him
Yeah.
because you go, oh, he's just so cute and he just wants me to rub him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that we got to understand, so that we see that we're putting ourselves in a position and in a relationship that the dogs understand who we are, what our role is, that they respect us, so that we can ensure that we have a good time.
Yeah.
But if I just think that like I can pet whenever and however I want, then I'm, to the dogs, they're viewing me a certain way.
Yeah, they're testing you.
And this is why like we got to be able to switch it up. But we're able to see that they're calming down and getting with it a lot
Ricky's
faster.
actually following that dog,
Yeah.
which is,
And which is good that he's being social.
Yeah.
And so today they're remembering, oh, I know this environment. I know how it is. So they started off a little chaotic. That's what they're used to doing with you. And this is what we're going to start to coach you guys, so that you can make the changes, so that ultimately it's not as chaotic.
Yeah, and because the thing is, he grew up, although Scratch is already old, but when it was just Scratch, when Scratch was younger and he could run and stuff, it was Scratch, he's like, what I would do, and it was during when my wife was recovering from surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd take them to the dog park, they get all excited, and then I'd pop the thing out, they'd jump out, they'd run in there, and I, there was, I'm like, oh, they're just being dogs, instead of, I could have been working on.
Well, what I'm saying is
some
that
more control.
you need to be able to influence
Yeah.
them in whatever
Like
state
this
of
guy wants to come up to me, but I'm
in
not,
whatever state of mind they're in. We
Yeah.
need to be able to influence that.
Yeah.
Not saying they can't be excited, but if they can't hear us and we can't influence, then we can have there's a potential problem
Yeah.
there, because now they get into a situation that's not very ideal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we want to make sure that they can hear us and feel us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let out another dog.
I think we'll pick up some of Ricky's cues, because Ricky's already sort of like.
Well, I wouldn't be thinking in those terms. I would be thinking more in terms of that, because you guys have just stuck with your crew and the dynamic.
Yeah.
They're going to have to learn how to socialize, how to they're having to get that experience under them.
You'd be shocked, like Rick. That the consultation we have.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky's done.
Yeah.
The way he's not done, but you know what I mean.
There's a
He's
shift. There's a
huge shift.
Yeah, nice.
Ricky, Ricky was always pretty submissive to us, but the thing is, he's really like, it's
yeah,
like
it's a different gear.
That little tiny brain of his absorbed everything.
Yeah. and this is why it's just like he's remembering what took place during that consultation.
Yeah.
They came in kind of doing their old reaction. This is how I do things, but then it settled in real quick. And so what we want to be thinking though is that they need exposure to the ability to socialize.
Yes.
And then we have to play a certain role so that they can see that we protect them, but we also are a disciplinarian and we let them know what we don't like.
Yeah.
So what happens is they can start to calm down. We know we can understand what kind of conversations are going down, when our time we should step in is, when we can let it be. But that stuff takes time. So he has to, I wouldn't be thinking necessarily learning it from Ricky, but he's going to learn it through the exposure of being with other dogs, us stepping in, us not stepping in. He's going to start to gain that knowledge. But that's why I want to add more. I want to add more dogs and kind of just see how he starts to respond.
Yeah.
Because I want to see if he is remembering all those lessons from last time, or if we're going to have to remind him again.
I'll call you back in a bit. Well, that's good.
And so this is the dog that he had went after, right?
Yeah.
And so far isn't doing that.
No, he's sniffing.
But this is where things can change. But we're just watching. But just because he's feeling a little unsure and uncomfortable doesn't mean that I need to step in.
No.
I'm going, yeah, it makes sense. It's new for you. You're a little unsure. But I'm making sure that it doesn't go too far the wrong direction.
Exactly.
Right? And then what happens is they then can start to balance out and feel more safe in the presence of us, and then as he becomes more settled, then we might start to see, oh, there he goes. He's trying to insert himself now. He's starting to try to climb, and then that's where we're keeping a certain kind of pressure on so that it keeps it in check, where it's normal for him to then voice his opinion and all that, but can he hear us? How does he feel about us? And then we don't want him to try to climb above us, and we don't want, and we want to be able to see when there's going to be altercations where it's switching, where it's going to go into more of a negative thing, right? So, but yeah, so far, just it's like we're picking up right where we had left off, right? So
it seems, it's like concentrating
Go on,
on
gosh.
you, and, you know, he's still nervous, but I mean,
Of course.
Ricky's like, hey,
yeah, he's a lot more
Ricky's
outgoing.
behaving better than he used to at the dog park. Ricky was very like this.
Yeah.
I'm little, and I gotta let you know that I'm not a wimp. Kind of thing.
And this is where being able to be someone that can protect,
Yeah.
but also by doing that, it kind of checks him, and then he can start to realize, oh, maybe I'm not the dog that I was thinking I was, right? And so I'm gonna let out some other dogs. Yep. And
It's like the softie in me always wants to reach around and pet him.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is that we have to be able to understand when, where, how, and why we should be doing those things, versus just giving into that impulse.
And this is good for Chowder, because Chowder, he's a very emotional dog.
Yeah.
And he's all he's doing is staring at Scratch's old corner, you know. And it was crazy. You know, because you saw Scratch, he was walking around, you know, but the following week he stopped eating. And, you know, that happens. I don't know if he might have had some kind of cancer too. That just, but.
Yeah, well, the most important thing is that what we have to do is like maintain, like, we just live normally. Like most of the time, I've seen a lot where people lose a dog and then they get very sensitive and sentimental, and then they start like, oh, you missed it, and I know, and it actually can produce problems.
Yeah,
just like I've been
very wary of that.
Yeah, I've seen where a dog has come to me for like aggressive behaviors, and say they get like sick or hurt, and then the person becomes like, oh, poor thing.
Yeah.
And the way they go about it, they're being aggressive again like they were. And I go, yeah, I figured because of how you were going to start feeling because they were sick or hurt. And so we have to just look at things more like, it's like a kid falling down and the parent that goes, oh my gosh, are you okay? Oh, poor thing. Versus the one that falls down and you go, oh, all right, like, get up, you know, like, what do we got going on?
I raised both my boys that way. I didn't come running to them.
Yeah.
Like,
and
well,
so
if you're not bleeding, you know, just shake it off.
Yeah. So it's just important to maintain that leadership, because that's what's going to give them the stability. And we're not going to, like, people can kind of keep reminding them of this like off time, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, just be together, but I'm gonna let out other dogs.
They're not leaving, dude. You're gonna be
Samson.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Stealth dog. You like sniffing wieners, don't you, Ricky?
They get to learn a lot about each other.
Hey, Jesse, let me call you right back. Is that okay? Thanks. Okay, bye.
Yeah, but you see how he's just it's just like we picked up where we left off, which is nice, and we're gonna get into personalities that he hasn't met, but we're starting with the ones other than Bash's one he never met, but yeah. So I'm gonna grab Grace. Grace. Come on, Grace. Come on, Missy. Missy. Come on. Come on, Missy. Grace. Samson. Samson. Come on. Sticks.
This one we didn't meet yet.
No, this is sticks. But you see where
Why are you barking at him? Chowder's sitting down for this guy.
Yeah.
Why is Ricky doing that?
Hey! And so, but Ricky could be doing it because I walk out, I come back in. This is probably something that they're used to, is that when someone new's coming into the territory, they're barking at them. And
yeah, and Ricky does that. Like, I'll go outside, fiddle with something, come back in, and they'll like do it to me.
yeah, but that's where
You know.
we start feeding it,
Yeah.
and we don't want to do that. So
You see, he acted just like Ricky used to do, like you know, just.
yeah, but this
But
is
he stopped right away.
yeah, but this is why being able to get in situations, and then we have to live in a way that we're not spoiling these dogs. We're not making them feel that we're weak, and we don't want to be emboldening them. So we have to understand our role in the relationship, and often with our dogs, we're wanting them to entertain us and to distract us, and we're trying, like, we want them to just, it's like a kind of like an item, like a thing that we own, instead of it being where we see it as, no, we have a job, like it's a job we have to do. It's like raising kids, and my job is to get them, like, help navigate through life and prepare them for things, and if I'm thinking like it's just about just us having a good time and us being friends, like it doesn't prepare them and set them up well for life. But no, this is why we're looking at different personalities. So we get a new personality in that then it made him feel a different way. But he did the same thing. He did the same thing with Bash, right? He did the same behavior.
That one was a little bit, I could tell the cackles were up. That one was maybe a little bit more. You think he picked up on that dog's?
I think that it has to do with a new dog because Bash came in, right? Like, and he did the same to Bash.
True.
And this is where we have to understand that dogs are looking at where do they fit in with one another, and then how do they feel about new dogs, and how do they handle that. So some dogs are going to be more standoffish, some dogs are going to be more forward and look to dominate and discipline. So Sticks
He's just like taking a break.
Yeah, no, he'll come. Come on, Sticks. You throwing up, Samson? Come on, Sticks. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Sticks. Come on. Sticks. Sticks. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sticks. Come on. Yeah, he's done. He's just unsure. I might have to. Sticks. Come on. Yeah. That's.
Did you just do that?
Yeah, sometimes. Come on. Sticks. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Sticks. Come on. Sticks. Come on. Come on. Come on, Sticks. Come on. Sticks. Come on. Come on. Perfect. Paul.
We got a typical lovey pity. A pity man. Hey. Can't pet you, I didn't call you over.
Yeah, we're looking at trying to understand who the dogs are. And then when you understand their personality and what they're really doing and why, then it's easier to then navigate that, handle that. But But yeah.
I notice you don't have a muscle on him because is he just so chill?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna look at moving away and not really doesn't really come back at dogs. And so dogs that have more of a potential edge where sometimes they're more opinionated.
Yeah.
I'm doing that while we see how they kind of respond and everything, and then it just makes everybody more
Typical ADD dude.
more comfortable. Come on, Paula. Oh, you got it. Hey. Missy, come here. Missy, come here.
Succeeded in getting it off. Smart one. Oh, there's playtime. Oh, that's good. That's what I want to see out of Chowder one of these days.
Yeah. But remember, play is all play is two dogs that are trying to figure out who's more dominant than the other, and it is a mock fight.
Yeah.
And so you always have to remember that, because what can happen is we can just get lost and think that it's just wonderful, and it is, but there's also a seriousness about it. So Cora's coming in to look at, voicing who she is in the matter.
Yeah, they remind me of a couple of young bull elk I saw off highway up by.
Hickory. Come on, Hickory.
Yeah, we went with he hasn't been out on a walk since, I think we got him out of the car on a road just because we needed to just fucking clear our heads that Sunday the following day. So it took him out in the car, let him get out, go to the bathroom, basically.
Yeah.
They have not been on any walks around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Like all that stuff it will all come together as we change our relationship. But notice he didn't have an opinion about this dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like wanting to get in there. He's super neutral on this one. Now he's getting a little unsure.
Hickory, come on. Okay. Next up. Come on, Chesa. Cool.
Is he just sort of slowly just adjusting, or is his behavior based on the personality type of the other dog?
Potentially, this is where
Still shaking a bit, but
this is where we're trying to piece the puzzle together, right? We're trying to get an understanding of what he does, why he does it, and then it becomes easier to navigate because we go.
Yeah, I want him to.
We have answers.
Did he, this is what, Ricky would have old Ricky would have just tried to at
Yeah.
every dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he doesn't.
Yeah. And this is where I'm looking at. He's Chowder here is just, he's gonna be who he is and move through things how he does, and understanding and respecting that, because a lot of times we want our one dog to be like the other dog, and it's just like it's just not how it is. It's just so what I'm looking at is, can he get in a situation and be social, and can he listen to us, and so yeah, Cora came in to tell him, knock it off, like, this is who I am.
Cora's being the house mom.
Yeah, and so she wants to try to come in and control, and this is where this kind of thing could lead to a fight, because another dog says, "Don't you do that to me," you know?
Yeah.
And this
You're
is
not the boss of me.
yeah,
you know.
like, and so we need to be able to understand what's happening, and so I'm letting these things where they can experience it. Because I think dogs, we want them to know how to deal with pressures, and we need to know what they can and can't handle, how they function on that. But yeah, so I'm gonna get another dog.
Oh, I can't pet you. I'd love to pet you. What a sweet girl. See, Chowder, I want you to behave just like her. She's awesome. Is she a client's dog or?
She's a dog that we're watching while the owner's trying to get out of like a domestic abuse type situation, and so we're holding on to her while she's getting all of her ducks in a row, so she can move into her new chapter. But
It's like, what is she doing here?
yeah, so
She is sweetest of the sweet.
yeah, she's actually came to me because she was being fostered by someone else, and she's like growling and biting at people,
Really?
and
She's just scared in a bad space.
she's spoiled.
Oh, really?
She's a spoiled dog with a skittish mindset. So then they spoil her, and then she learns that her aggression and all this works, and that people are weak, and so then when she doesn't like something, and when something makes her uncomfortable, she has felt like, well, I can be aggressive.
So she's like a teenage girl, basically.
Yeah. and so yeah, so she has her.
She's a 13-year-old or 12. She's a 12 to 15-year-old girl. Is what she is. Human girl. Sweet, and then gets moody and bitchy. To get her way.
Yeah, and so
That's interesting because you see her and you think she's that way all the time.
but this is why, like, she gets like this, because look at, she's so cute, and we go, oh my god,
wants
we
to
want to then
move
try to
her
interact with her, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes, I don't want all that, back off, and then they go, oh, it's okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then she goes, okay,
Now
I
got
can
you.
do that, you know?
Now I got you.
Yeah, exactly. So she, you know, when she first came in, she was growling at every single dog, and she's become a little bit more savvy at socializing. She'll still voice her opinion and all that, but definitely has made shifts, and this is where she can then be like that with me, but then she goes to the owner or whatever, and then she can go right back to just how she's always been.
Yep.
Right. So I'm gonna let her on this side.
Like Scratch's dad. We got Scratch and his mom was a black pug and his dad looked a lot like her.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go grab another dog. Come here. Yeah, this is Tinley. She's been coming here for like 5-6 years. But yeah, she could never be around dogs, really dog aggressive. So. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that just shows you how dogs they're not into the whole vanity thing.
Yeah, like when we let Chowder in the back, and when he barks at other dogs on the other side of the dog,
But so far with how you've been seeing things going, how are you feeling about this all?
as expected, yeah. I mean, I didn't expect him to like, yay, I'm gonna play. I mean,
Yeah.
Ricky is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
Ricky is, you know, I'm wondering if Ricky's sort of an insecure dog in a way too.
But yeah. But
you know.
but this is where we all have insecurities
Yeah.
to a degree, right?
Yeah.
But you're just looking at different personalities. This is
Yeah.
all. But what we go, oh, I just wish he'd be like this. No, I just look to accept him like that,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. And then I'm giving him this experience over. We give him experiences over and over.
Yeah,
And then we just
exactly.
know that, oh yeah, this kind of experience, he's like that. Then he moves through here. Oh, in that situation, he can be like that. You accept it. And then you know how to navigate it, which then it's not even a problem. But what happens is oftentimes we're trying to change or fix the dog without really even understanding what's going on. We just go, I just don't like that, and I just don't like this, and this scares me, and this is...
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to look to see what they're like. And what I see so far is a dog that he doesn't feel that he can really act out too much, right? So he's controlling himself. So we know that it's not, or at least I think in my perspective, this isn't a genetic problem because he's controlling himself.
Yeah.
If it was genetic, he would just be like, this is just what I do, and he
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to control it. So he's
He'd be
learned.
rushing the fence.
Yeah,
bro.
going after dog, like if it was a genetic problem. But he's obviously making decisions. He's controlling himself. So when I look at this, I go, okay, so he's regulating, and then there's going to be these times where he's going to then maybe feel more comfortable and then voice his opinion a little bit more, be more assertive, or maybe he is more engaging where he's walking around the yard. But I'm going to bring in this next dog is a dog that many professionals and board certified veterinarian behaviorists said that this dog, it would be understandable at that point to euthanize him for his behavioral problems. And they were never able to get around dogs or people. And I'm gonna bring him out, and you'll see, like, this is a dog that when he got here he was really stressed out, but he's way more comfortable now. He still always walks around with a kind of like suspicious to a degree. That's who he
Yeah,
is.
it's like a kid that grew up in a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, he's just always suspicious.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm gonna grab him and I'll be right back.
Like an Aussie. You don't see the Aussie with this color pattern too often.
And so then we what we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 11th dog that he's met, you know, and we've seen him have his little opinion about 2 of the dogs today.
And he
Both
backed right off as soon as
both males, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and he listened to us. Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he backed off right away.
But this is where, we're just looking at the one at a time, and then we'll look at putting more personalities together. But no, I think that this is just where it's time, it's a process, and then trying to make sure that it's at a level that you guys can actually change and deal with yourself.
Yeah, it was sort of a blessing. You know, it was a blessing that, Stretch had to go,
Yeah, I think that it's always good to look at things as it happened at the right time. Like everything's meant to be, you know. And
he's bummed out. He stares at Scratch's corner and everything.
yeah, that's just an adjustment.
It's just
period.
a mourning period.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit. I'm 62 years old. I got that dog when I was 45.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, no, you've
know?
gone through a lot of different life things with the dog, right? And so,
Yeah.
but no, I just think that, we just want to make sure that we just see this as we're just gradually unfolding into a new way.
Yeah, he seems pretty relaxed right
He,
now.
he's doing really nice. Like he's obviously gonna have this stress, but it's like we're kind of working it out of him.
Yeah, it's like a kid starting school.
Yeah.
you know?
And then by the end of the year, they're like
kid that's homeschooled with
Yeah.
not the best.
they haven't socialized
and
much.
then they have to get back into regular school.
Yeah.
And
And
moved from a different town.
hey,
so to
don't you
speak.
think about eating that poop.
No.
He likes eating poop. But yeah, no, it's just important to this is what he needs the most, is being in this kind of situation, because then when you get onto the leash, and he knows how to socialize with dogs, and we are also more familiar with what's happening and how to communicate with dogs and what our role is. Those things just go better. But yeah, no, like I said last time, it's just nice because we haven't had to be real. We haven't had to have real harsh discipline with him, right? It's been real mild, and for the most part, we've just dominated and said, "Hey, knock it off." But I think that this is why him getting into this and then getting these experiences, it's gonna change how he views the world,
Yeah,
and then when
exactly.
we'll also be able to see how he feels about a dog coming in to be dropped off and this new dog, and then we're gonna get this pattern down, and then it's easy to say, okay, well, when you're out and about and you come across a new dog, he already thinks like, ooh, who's this? And then we handle it like this. Archer, come on, Archer. Come on. So this dog is he's a skittish dog, and so there might be more of a standoffish. Yeah, he's cute, but a standoffish
Looks young.
approach. Yeah, he's pretty young.
So I see Ricky's not trying to do any kind of domination on the skitters.
He's just going up, check things out.
Ricky was more,
And he goes, "Yeah, I'm good." Yeah, and so Karma's a dog that if Ricky, I mean not Ricky, I mean maybe if Ricky, but if Chowder wanted to kind of get it aggressive with her, she's a dog that potentially would come back at him.
yeah.
You know, she's not gonna take all that.
Mm-hmm.
But as we see, not didn't do that with her. So I'll grab a different dog. And so we have,
She wants to charm everybody. She's such a teenage girl.
and so Ace is a lot.
Working dog.
Ace is a lot more energetic, but this is a sub-dominant dog, so he can be submissive but dominant, and he can be aggressive.
I've seen that
And-
with cattle dogs.
And so what happens is we see, oh, he's so sweet and look at that, and then we feed the submissive side, but it emboldens him to become dominant
yeah.
and aggressive. And so it's actually a dog we have to push on and dominate, and it's counterintuitive to people. So like Charlie, one of the guys that will be coming out here soon, when Ace first shows up, Charlie always dominates and disciplines him right away. And that's where, when he first came here, people had been like throwing balls and doing the training and like trying to get him burning his energy.
Yeah.
And so he would be real aggressive. Come on, Ace. All right. So we're gonna see, does he go
Yellow
straight
lab?
straight into wanting to dominate? Lab Great Pyrenees mix. But you can see like Charlie's more forward, just come right up. But what I like is that he's being social. I like that.
This is the kind of dog that Ricky would try to like, hey,
Yeah.
you can't push me around. I know you're like way bigger
Yeah.
than me,
Instead,
but-
Ricky just walks away. And so yeah, no, to me, everything's moving beautifully. It's going exactly how we'd like. And then
Yeah, I tried to get like Chowder actually got up on the fence and was sniffing them. A couple of them got up and like, hey.
yeah, but
And
this is
I
where like we have this idea, like I don't care that the dogs are jumping on the fence and
Yeah.
doing all that. Like we often I find that
But yeah, I was.
when dogs are jumping up, we immediately think that they need to get down. But no, this is where
Okay.
they're
good.
wanting to come over here. The barrier's just in the way. So then
Yeah.
their stress levels are going to climb. And so this is why then dogs can start to bark and growl. And some dogs will look real aggressive, but when you remove the barrier, then they're socializing just
Yeah.
fine. It's the barrier or the leash that produces that.
It was nice. He
problem.
was nose to nose sniffing with the other dog,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
chill.
Yeah, exactly. And so and then he's just walking away.
You're a big dog.
Yeah, he's getting adopted tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had him for the end of next month would be a year. Yeah, he was going to be killed because had been to multiple trainers. Nothing was working. The shelters said that like we would end up euthanizing him, but they heard about me and they surrendered him to me, and then we just found him a home, and I'm really excited about
How we did it with Scratch.
Hey!
I'm like, hey, I don't want to see my dog die.
Yeah.
So they gave him this really. He wasn't eating this tasty treat, and he just went out hard, basically.
Yeah.
You know, just petted him. He was still alive or conscious when we left.
Yeah.
And he had no clue. He was on a good day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And
but you,
like, still having to process.
Yeah. No. This is why, I just want you guys to think like we're just slowing down. Like just try to just be. Don't backslide on things because just but I just want
she has that plastic.
I just want you guys to just realize that we're in that mode, and so we're gonna slow it down and let you guys process. I don't want to try to push anything, but I do want to say like so over here like Marvel and Ace were they've been playing, and then it escalated into more of a disagreement. So I came in and I go, this is a perfect opportunity for me to remind them of who I am, be a mediator, and bring this all down. But yeah, so I'm gonna bring out a different dog, and then
I was wondering, aren't you gonna run out of dogs sooner or later?
Eventually. I think there's I think 3 more dogs. Millie will be the last. She's the most dominant. Well, one of the most dominant dogs. She's a chronic Corso. She has issues she has issues with new dogs and people for sure showing up, and so you'll get to see like a different way.
That one's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Really, Corsos are pretty massive.
No, she's a thick girl, but not the size of him. But no, so you'll get to see with Millie most likely a way different dynamic on how I'm going to navigate that. But sometimes it's pretty interesting. They've really sort of but he's moving along. So
I'm just keeping this guy in. And
I don't want him to go over there like
he gets kind of nervous with the group.
No, he will go over there and look to eat poop, and I don't want him eating poop.
Yeah, no poop.
Like, cause then he likes to throw it up in my house, which is not fun. No. So. Ivy, come on. You decided to climb over, huh? But yeah, so she doesn't really care about meeting anybody. He wanted to come, I guess, and hang out with us.
Hello.
Ace. Come on, Ace. Alright, so we're going to be introducing Sequoia to some new dogs and a client. This is her first day, and this is these dogs' first day. So this is their first day. This is Sequoia. So we're just kind of evaluating her too. But you can see she's like, I don't know about coming out. And this is the first time that these dogs have.
You have a bulldog. We have a muzzle for him that he's never.
Yeah, the little mesh one.
Yeah.
It can be helpful like for people and stuff, but I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah.
But on Mondays when they come, we have a Boston Terrier who comes. So there'll actually be a dog that is a little bit more his size. But yeah, so Sequoia is Sequoia. Just
How's she doing with everybody?
good. She pretty much met everybody this morning. She hasn't met Millie, but yeah, she's growling at him and kind of snapping like, "Hey, leave me alone," kind of hiding a bit. But then she started coming out and looking to engage and participate a bit more. But man, it's such a nice day. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Good
But
week.
but yeah, so yeah, just been evaluating her, and I'll probably end up keeping her up in the bus because we're gonna do Millie next. Come on, inside. Ivy. Ivy, you wanna go? All right, you wanna go inside? All right, so Millie, new dog, people. So there's a good chance I'm gonna have to get on her, but we'll see.
She's a Corso?
Yeah. And
She'll typically try to dominate.
she'll look to dominate and discipline, like attack new dogs, new people, like. But this is where I'm liking that. So far, she's being pretty social, especially with a new person being around. Like, but yeah, she'll either look to like dominate and discipline dogs and people, or she'll like growl and be barking and like stand off, like be standing like her ground, you know.
Yeah, her
But-
tail's moving like Chowder's when he's in a good mood.
Yeah. But you still see like the hackles up because this is her sensing the potential
Yeah.
danger, you know. And now they're kind of oscillating. They kind of were going to go down. They're starting to go down a bit, and then they kind of popped up a bit. But what I like is that she came into the situation. She's been social, and I didn't have to get on her.
Yeah.
But
Well, she senses I'm not fearful of it.
no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, really?
No, no. It doesn't matter. Like, it's about they're a new person, they're a new dog. Because she's
Okay.
looking at like through a guard dog. This is what she was bred to be. So she's looking at things from a territorial. I don't know you, and this is where even here, like I've seen where she might be doing this, and then she goes into, you know, and
Yeah.
and so this is why our job is a mediator, and she looks like she's going to try to maybe look to get this guy playing with her a bit. But she can be too much at the beginning, where she's really really physical, really vocal, and dogs go, I don't know what to do with all that. So she kind of paws him, and then he comes back and says, hey, don't do that to me. And she kind of goes, okay, but then comes back, right? And so this is part of the socialization process.
Yeah.
But if I'm a little unsure, I'm feeling insecure, then especially if but this is where like you doing this is where when we go, oh, I know, this can be taken as a challenge.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like, just to tell you, because this is what we do with dogs all the time. We go like this. Well, okay, so she hasn't met this dog either. She obviously either opened up the gate or climbed out. And so this is a brand new dog to her as well. But what happens is we will go and we'll look at a dog and we'll go, what are you doing? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, all I did was smile at
But
her.
no, but I'm saying that because of how dogs can look at this, we then look at her and think, you got to think from where we'll teach kids, like, you know, hey, don't stare, right?
Yeah.
And because it can be misperceived,
Mhm.
even if you just are being friendly. But what I so now
Oh, look at the party. It's a party.
yeah, and
Come on, join in. Everybody's welcome.
Bruno, I don't want you.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what we'll do is kind of walk this way. You'll come with.
Want me to
Yeah,
follow you?
yeah, yep. I want to see.
Oh, just follow you. Keep the gate open.
Yeah,
Right on.
and then watch out for this poop here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just wanting us to move a bit to see if they would start to kind of move along with us. And then again, we're looking at potentially needing to insert ourselves.
Yeah, I can imagine this is like sensory overload in a certain way. You are the coolest dog. Yes, you are. You can rub up against me all you want, but I'm not gonna fall for it. Feels like I'm at the dog park.
Oh yeah.
Except
Yeah.
dog park, I would have like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And this is why then we wonder why do dog fights and all these problems start popping on?
Yeah.
Like, because we're not really on. Hey, don't you eat that poop? I'm gonna pick all this up. All right. So we're gonna open up this gate. Then go storming over. Open up this one. All right. So I'm definitely watching Sticks and Bash, and then obviously the new crew. I need to turn off the heater. It's not necessary in there anymore. It looks like Chowder's gonna actually follow me in here. Ricky's still outside in the bus. I think he's in the driver's seat. This is the first time he's been in here. One thing is I don't want him peeing in here, marking. But we're gonna be charging my phone up. Gonna be charging my phone up, and we'll be back. don't want him going inside and peeing. Hickory, Charlie. Come on, Hickory. Hickory, come on. So I think they went back into the bus. That's all right. They'll end up coming back out. That's what they've been doing, at least. Yeah, he just in there. Alright, so there we go. Cora. Okay. They're out here in the mix. He's looking at starting to engage with some dogs. We got Sequoia in the mix. And like I've said, we're utilizing these muzzles. We're utilizing these muzzles for safety while we evaluate and get to know. And then as the years go on and on, I'll get better at what I do. But I like taking safety precautions while I learn. And even when I know, there's certain things that I go, yeah, we got to use a muzzle. But other times it's like we don't really need it, but it's better to have it in place and not need it than need it and not have it. So anyways. Pretty sure Ricky is in the driver's seat. They've been chilling in the driver's seat here. We're gonna be stepping out and going inside. She's grumbling, Sequoia there, but we're gonna move inside. Come on, Sequoia. Sequoia. Come on, Sequoia. I'm gonna have Sequoia come. There's Archer. Should have had it in a wide angle lens. This one's too close up. Oh, nice. He's coming in. Come on, man. Oh, he opted out. Come on. Come on, Sequoia. He's like, I don't know about this. He's still figuring things out. But anyways. So Chowder came in. Ricky was like, I don't know. He didn't see Chowder come in, I think if he would have actually saw Chowder come in, Ricky would have followed suit, but he didn't. And so he was just like, I'm not sure about doing that right now. And that's okay. We're waiting for Ivy and Sticks owner to get here. Let's see if Ricky's out here. Ricky! Ricky! Oh, he's in the bus. I see him. In the driver's seat. Alright, well. So I want him off there. Off. Perfect.